We are looking at figure 18.2 on page 388 of your textbook. So we previously looked at a PPC curve, and this is another one. On the vertical axis, I'm going to put market output. And then on the horizontal axis, I'm putting environmental quality. Right, and we know that the shape of the PPC curve looks like this. So it says if I spend all my resources only on environmental quality, I'll get a maximum of this and 0 market output. If I spend all my resources on market output, I'll get a maximum of this and 0 economic quality. And then obviously we would like to be somewhere in between with some market output like M1 together with some environmental quality like E1. But let's say in traditional accounting systems like your GDP or anything Statistics South Africa or the quarterly bulletin of the South African Reserve Bank, they give accounts of how it's going with the economy. Now they might say the economy was the size M1 in this year and then it increased to the size M2. Now this is great. I mean, this is a good change, and if it's an increase, it's positive and it's something we want to have. But what if, let's say, we look at M2 on this PPC curve, and what if this increase in M2 goes together with a decrease of environmental quality? And that's what national or green accounting, or as your textbooks refer to it, environmental accounting, tries to capture. Because traditionally we did not include the impact of a decrease in environmental quality in your national accounts. You only looked at the market output. But now we want to say, yes, our economy increased, but it went together with a decrease in environmental quality. It went together with this negative aspect. So we want to include this negative aspect in the increase of my economy. And that's great. But now the question is, what's the size of the area E1 minus E2? What is the value? Because if I say E1 minus E2 is a decrease in environmental quality, if I say that was shown in a loss of animals, maybe even a species that went extinct, maybe a decrease in habitat or of rainforest, maybe an increase in air pollution, then what's the value of that species that went extinct? What's the value of the rainforest we lost? What's the damage of the increase in air pollution? And that's difficult to say. A lot of countries have different ways in estimating that. One is to say what is the value of recovering that environmental asset. So if it was trees that was cut down, what's the value of planting new trees? That's one way. But sometimes people say, listen, you don't recover this environmental entity exactly like it was. So by just planting new trees, the rainforest is still lost. So this isn't an appropriate amount. But it's important to show that there's a decrease with environmental quality, there's an increase in economic size for market output, and we have to get a value for that decrease in environmental quality. You probably would not have to draw this, but it's very, very important that you should be able to explain this, especially in essay format.